Despite the fact that science has linked poor slumber with all kinds of health problems, from weight gain to a weakened immune system, one thing's clear: some of history's most powerful and intelligent people had very little time for it. Because sleep is so necessary, it's important to understand whether or not different sleeping patterns affect our productivity. A lot of people tend to wonder if geniuses, for instance, have special habits. This is something that we would like to explore. We've taken out the bedtime habits of some of the most recognized geniuses of our time. Some pretty strange circadian rhythms. All were especially particular about their routines, which, as we know, is key to proper sleep hygiene. However, sleep is important and not to be missed. If you have trouble sleeping, here are the interesting sleeping habits of genius inventors and thinkers. They take advantage of the so-called power nap. And that's why, in addition to all the sleep and health benefits of the 10 to 20-minute power nap, there is something important that happens when we stop and sleep when we are tired. Both Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison were famous advocates of this principle. The power nap may be a concept which determines that you simply could get around 20 minutes worth of nap to recharge and reset your brain during a working mode quickly. This fights off fatigue temporarily, allowing you to keep on working for longer. Here's a few quirky advice within the sort of the sleeping habits of genius inventors and thinkers. Maybe this may offer you the inspiration you may need to make a sleeping pattern that works for you. Number 1. Albert Einstein. Einstein's name is synonymous with genius in many people's minds. The Nobel Prize-winning theoretical physicist is noted for providing us with the theory of general relativity, and most of us will have seen his portraits in classrooms and labs throughout our educational career. Einstein is known for being a big fan of regular sleep. He used to have 10 hours of sleep every single night. This is more than the average. Keep in mind that he also had daytime naps. It is quite obvious that he was a rather liberal and absolute lenient when it came to sleeping. Look how things turned out. Number 2. Nikola Tesla. If there is someone who deserves recognition for their practical contributions, it is Nikola Tesla, an engineer and scientist known for designing the alternating current electrical system, which is the predominant electrical system used across the world today. He also created the Tesla coil, which is still used in radio technology, and the discovery of the rotating magnetic field. As a matter of fact, it is believed that a lot of his inventions are kept a secret because we are not yet ready to adopt the high level of technology. In any case, Tesla had a very odd sleep routine and rarely slept at all. He has never slept for more than 2 hours a day. But he made up for those with regular day naps, which in his own words, recharged his batteries. He would also reportedly curl his toes 100 times on each foot before sleep, believing that it stimulated his brain cells. Number 3. Leonardo da Vinci. Painter and polymath Leonardo da Vinci is regarded as one of the most prodigiously talented people in history. Da Vinci's sleep habits are also well documented. That the polyphasic process he followed is often known as the Da Vinci sleep schedule. By sleeping for relatively short periods, no less than 20 minutes but no longer than 2 hours per session, several times over a 24-hour period, Da Vinci was able to technically get around 5 hours of sleep a day, but avoid committing to a single sustained period of inactivity. The main advantage of this is that he didn't have to commit a large chunk of time where he'd be inactive. On the other hand, this isn't the best thing to do if you're concerned about your general health whatsoever. This kind of sleep routine is also called the Uberman sleep schedule and may not be suited for most people. Number 4. Emily Bronte. Emily Bronte is a famous English 19th century poet and novelist. She had a terrible case of insomnia, preventing her from getting quality rest. In fact, she found that the only way that she could go back to sleep was walking around her dining room. She held an evening ritual of walking around in circles until she fell asleep. This is something that should be considered. Insomnia requires immediate healing attention. Number 5. Charles Dickens. Writer Charles Dickens was a famous insomniac. He had developed some strange cures to deal with his sleeping habits. He carried a navigational compass with him at all times to ensure that he was always facing north while he slept. He believed that this practice improved his creativity and his ability to always know what direction he was facing at any given time. He would also go on long walks during the night to help him sleep better. These walks would often turn into epic adventures. Described in Night Walks, his time as an insomniac, when he decided to cure himself by walking through London in the small hours. His nighttime rambles take him to Newgate Prison, Covent Garden, Westminster Abbey, and other locales. Like other insomniacs, only the rising sun would compel Dickens to finally drift off to sleep. Number 6. Ludwig van Beethoven. The famous musical composer, Beethoven, was a complex personality. Historians have long suspected that Beethoven suffered from more than one health problem. However, there was an interesting normal sleep routine. He would sleep at 10 a.m. and wake up at 6 in the morning, even though he had no problems with sleep loss issue. But he certainly aided countless insomniacs around the world in getting a good night's sleep by way of his somnambulant musical pieces. There are many different polyphasic sleep schedules, such as biphasic, Dymaxion, Everyman, and Uberman. Each consist of several naps and/or core sleep sessions. Many of these geniuses preferred to sleep in a polyphasic manner, also known as Uberman sleep schedule. This involves sleeping up to 5 hours a day and short naps of 20 minutes each. These are important considerations. Sleep deprivation could cause a lot of cognitive impairments, and it is a matter of time for it to start being an imposition. So, regular sleep, or at least 8 hours a day, will work better in keeping you healthy and improving your concentration.